Hello, Curious, and welcome back. Not a day goes by that Chrissy Teigen's name isn't making headlines for one thing or another, and in most recent times, they had not been pleasant things at all, and it seems that things are taking a turn for the worse for Teigen, who has in the past, along with her husband John Legend, solidified themselves as a funny, loving family much to the delight of their followers. But recent bullying allegations, which included wishes for people to harm themselves, have put her in a bad light. What have these allegations said, and who were the people involved? Which businesses have cut their partnerships with Chrissy? And is her husband John Legend planning on leaving her? Could this be the end of their fairy tale marriage? Stay with us until the very end to find out the answers to these questions with regards to this ongoing drama, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, turn on the notifications, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. The Teigen Legend family has built their brand on being a loving, media-friendly family along with their children Luna and Miles, and she herself was known as a loving mom and wife, and a champion of women. Chrissy was known in the past to call out people who had some undeserving and negative things to say about other women in the industry and other social injustice topics, which is why that came as a shock to many when several people had come forward and called her a bully. With that, several of her past posts, which had some rather insensitive things to say, had surfaced online. And while there had been many things said, we have all the news condensed here for you. Though if you want to know more about the other stars who had come under fire for their behavior online, which had cost them their jobs, you can check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us. This year, Teigen has been exposed for sending shockingly cruel messages to other women on social media, with one prominent one being the drama involving TV personality Courtney Stodden, and the surface tweets are from 2011 and 2012, and they were not so nice, even going on as far to tell Stodden to end her life by writing go to sleep forever, and my Friday fantasy, you dirt nap. In May, Courtney had brought these messages to everyone's attention when she did an interview with the Daily Beast about how they were cyberbullied, and they were by Chrissy. And speaking with the reporters, they said, and we quote here, "She wouldn't just publicly tweet about wanting me to take a dirt nap, but would privately DM me and tell me to kill myself. Things like that? Well, I can't wait for you to die." Stodden, who became famous at the age of 16 in 2011 when they married the then 51-year-old Doug Hutchinson and documented their marriage through a series of reality shows, had said that most of the abuse had gotten hurled at them in the past and it came from women. They had accused Teigen of being a hypocrite back in March when she had left social media after being bullied herself online, and then in May, Chrissy had taken to her Twitter to apologize to Courtney publicly. Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for their past bullshit in front of the entire world. I'm mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll. I am ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior, but that. And it is nothing compared to how I made Courtney feel. I have worked so hard to give you guys joy and be beloved, and the feeling of letting you down is nearly unbearable, truly. And these were not my only mistakes and surely won't be my last, as hard as I try, but God, I will try. I have tried to connect with Courtney privately, but since I publicly fueled all of this, I want to also publicly apologize. I am so sorry, Courtney. I hope you can heal now knowing how deeply sorry I am. However, after that, Stodden had taken to their Instagram to show that the model had never reached out to her privately and that she had even blocked them on Twitter. In the caption, they wrote, "I accept her apology and forgive her, but the truth remains the same. I have never heard from her or for her camp in private. In fact, she blocked me on Twitter," and since then, internet users had brought up the other times where in the past Teigen had written other offensive comments about other celebrities, such as the time that she mocked Lindsay Lohan about hurting herself and called a Teen Mom star, Farrah Abraham, a whore. And most recently, fashion designer Michael Costello came forward to talk about his unpleasant interactions with the model that had left him traumatized to be plagued with thoughts of ending his own life after an online interaction with Teigen 7 years ago that had left negative effects on his career. Costello had posted apparent screenshots of an Instagram direct messages conversation with Chrissy in which he pleaded with her to call him in order to discuss the situation, but instead she had mocked him. But what could have happened that led to this happening? Well, we've got you covered. The entire issue stemmed from what was said and what was a Photoshop comment that was floating around online which alleged that he used a racial slur. And in his explanation, he said that the image was a fake and that it eventually was taken down by Instagram. But the damage had already been done, as by the time both Teigen and stylist Monica Rose had threatened to not work with any people or brands that worked with Costello, and that resulted in him losing work for years. And in screenshots, it shows that that when he was asking the model to call him, she replied, "No, I do not have anything to say to you. You will get what's coming to you," as well as later adding that racist people like him deserve to suffer and lose their lives. It was an exchange that has deeply affected Costello, who has been living with this deep, unhealed trauma for the past 7 years. He said that for many nights he would stay awake wanting to end his life as he didn't see the point of living. He went on to add, "There was no way that I can ever escape from being the target of the powerful elites in Hollywood, who actually do have powers to close doors in a single text." And those, as per NBC News, they had reached out to reps of Teigen and Rose to verify whether the direct messages were true, and they had never ever heard back. All these recent resurfaced tweets and the people coming forward with their accusations against the model had meant that some of her business partners had dropped their partnerships. For example, her Cravings cookware line, which she had tirelessly promoted for her 13.6 million followers on Twitter and 34.8 million on Instagram, was pulled from Macy's. At first it was reported that Target had done the same thing, but a rep for the store later said that they had made this decision in December and that they no longer carried the cookware line. A source close to Teigen had said that she is holed up with her family in her Los Angeles home, swaying, "She's so raw and vulnerable. I don't know if she can come back to social media." Though since then, she has made a comeback, and the source has also revealed that the stores were focused to sever their relationship with the model after being bombarded with customer complaints on social media. But how has John Legend reacted to his wife's past behaviors? Stay with us until the very end to find out, and to add to this, she also decided to step away from her guest voiceover in a role in an episode of an upcoming second season of Never Have I Ever, with a spokesperson for the show saying that the role will be recast. But also, her business with her friends is hanging on by a thin line, and according to reports, none other than Kris Jenner has been in a crisis mode for weeks because of these scandals, and she has now been forced to reassess their partnership with Safely, a new company that sells plant-based cleaning products that the two women co-founded. They had decided to stop having the model co-star with Kris and in their marketing products, according to the reports from The Sun. So the publication added that Jenner agreed that it was necessary to cut the Twitter personality from promotional efforts as much as possible after their sale tanked when it launched in May amid the scandal. And a source told the newspaper that she likes Chrissy, but she's a numbers girl first, and their sales tanked after all Chrissy's tweets came out, you know. But what else could Teigen lose besides her partnerships? Well, you better stay with us to find out more. Amidst all of these scandals, fans of Chrissy had tried to defend her actions, with some bringing up the problems which she had suffered over the past years, such as suffering from postpartum depression after she gave birth to their daughter Luna, as well as the tragedy that fell on the family last year when they lost their baby son Jack, where she had shared intimate emotional photos from the hospital. And if you want to know more about that, you can do so by checking out our previous video by clicking on the link above. Though others had pointed out to her supporters that these accusations go way back in years as early as 2011, while Teigen gave birth in 2016, way after these accounts of cyberbullying took place. It seemed that with the most recent accusations by Costello, Teigen couldn't remain silent any longer and took to the website Medium to write her own explanation and apology. In it, she said that she had time to reflect on the crushing weight of regret for the things that she had said in the past, and she also highlighted that she is privately reaching out to all of the people that she has harmed to apologize to them. And speaking out, there was no excuse for her actions, and she said, "There is simply no excuse for my past horrible tweets. I was a troll, full stop, and I am so sorry. I took to Twitter to try to gain attention and show off what I at the time believed was crude, clever, and harmless quip. I thought it made me cool and relatable if I poked fun at celebrities. In reality, I was insecure, immature, and in a world where I thought that I needed to impress strangers to be accepted." And while there has not been any updates as to whether she has or has not privately reached out to those people, recent reports suggest that things now could be taking a turn for the worst in her marriage. According to Women's Day, this whole scandal has caused John Legend to run for the hills. The pair has first met in 2006 on the set of the music video for the song Stereo, where she played his love interest for the shoot. A love that is translated into real life as they began dating, with a wedding taking place in 2013 and welcoming 2 kids, Luna in 2016 and Miles in 2018. Though if you want to know more about their love story, you can do so by checking out our previous video. However, this happiness could soon be over, as a source told a magazine that this is not the woman that he fell in love with and married, adding that John is appalled by his wife's actions and that his friends who had always disliked Chrissy are urging him to leave her. Later on, they went on to highlight that he feels bad for her after she lost her sponsorship and television appearances, but he's also disappointed as he has never seen this side of her in the years that they worked together. They later concluded that their friends are already whispering that this scandal could be the end of their marriage. And if they get divorced, there is not only a $194 million fortune at stake, but also their 2 young children. Do you think it will come to that? And so curious, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Have the tweets changed your opinion of Chrissy? Do you think it's right for the companies to cut their ties with her? And could this really be the end of their fairy tale marriage? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time!